everyone, welcome back to another Moment in Time with Taylor. Why does that light look so crazy? Hey, Admin. Okay, a little better. Hello, CT. Hello, Happy Feet. So I was just contemplating between two potential scopes. I was thinking about trying to finish this book or doing something about boundaries. Hello. Hello, Frankie. Oh, hello. We're live. Hope that's cool. You're leaving?
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Perfect, I was just about to do a scope about marriage and relationships. You just woke up? Nice title? Yes. Boundaries, yes. So that is exactly what... So I asked...
See you, Mr. Perfect's
Friend.
Wannabe, he said. Mr. Perfect's wannabe. How come this is so bright?
I don't know if
It's a little better.
It's automatic.
Super bright. Look at that. And he walks away. I'm like glowing. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what's doing that. What if I just turn that off? I think we might just maybe turn us. Let's turn. I'm good, Trevor. How are you? How's that? I feel like that's a little better. Let's just go with that. All right. Oh, you guys can see the pelvis book. We were reading that together a little while ago. All right. It's important to understand the female pelvis if you are having a heterosexual relationship or a lesbian relationship, I guess. Hey, Coco. Hey, Brandon. Hey, Mike. Hey, Chad. Hello. Yes, Coco, you look so beautiful today, and you were like in your light. You were just so radiant and happy, and I just thought that was beautiful. So I'm glad that you did that. Hey, Cyanide. Hello, all my people. So hopefully the connection is okay. So I was in Al Canada's scope, and I was asking him, would you rather me do a book scope right now or a scope about boundaries? And he said, yeah, do something like Marriage 101. So that's what we're going to do. And the other day, thanks, Egg. You're sweet. And the other day, you guys might have seen it here on Periscope. There was a marriage counselor on here. What size do you wear? What? Of what? Oh, I love watching you too. I always say that back. That never makes any sense anytime that I say it. Hi, Ben. So boundaries was something that I had said to these marriage counselors who were on Periscope the other day. They were getting a lot of hits. People obviously have a lot of questions about relationships, and they wanted to ask some questions. So I thought, hey, I've been with my husband about 6 years. Oh, extra small. Pretty much everything. Like the smallest size you can get in adult size. And even that is sometimes too big. Your starter wife? What is a starter wife? I don't even know what that means, but I think it's probably not a good thing to say to your wife, unless it's a good thing. So that's actually something good. So that's, let's actually just sum up what I'm about to say in something really, really easy. You were debating a neo-Nazi. Ooh, so you have that adrenaline, Ben. You're like, I feel wound up. I'm already lagging. The Wi-Fi is right there. Right there. Hi, D. Is it lagging for anyone else? Can I just know? I can restart this over really quick. We'll get it going. Starter wife. I don't know what that is, so someone else can elaborate on that. Hello, Ben. So, the love languages. Hopefully you guys can hear me. The 5 love languages. It is lagging. You went out and came back, and it cleared up. Trump is in New York. He is? I did not know this. I'm in New York. How did I not know this? I guess it doesn't really matter because why would that affect me? Okay, if we're lagging, I'm going to start over. If I'm not really seeing it. 1 to start over, 2 to stay here. Yes, you can ask a question. No lagging. Okay, no lagging. So that's a 2 to stay. Any other votes? We're staying. We're going. All right. So the 5 love languages is a book by Gary Chapman. And Chad, maybe leave and come back and see if it clears up. Cool. So if anyone has heard of the 5 love languages, you might want to type in I have or something into the chat. And if you haven't, you can go right now. I won't be hurt if you leave me. You can go to 5, the number, 5lovelanguages.com. Probably write it down, show you guys. Hey, Rex. You speak 3 of them. Hopefully you speak 5 of them. We all pretty much speak 5 of them. It's lagging every once in a while. That's really annoying. You've heard of the 5 love languages. It worked? Awesome. All right, well, hopefully it stays. Nobody move. Nobody breathe. Just try to remain very still. We're going to talk about the 5 love languages. Physical touch. Well, actually, you have your primary 2, Ben. So the first 2 that you speak the most fluently would be the best and most effective ways for someone to communicate love to you, and it's the ways that you most easily express love. So if you're in a relationship with someone where you speak the same two primary love languages, like me and my husband, it is a lot easier, I think, it makes it a lot easier for us to have a happy, fulfilling relationship. Oh, like your first wife. Okay. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Okay, that is a book that I have not read, so I don't actually know what it's about, but it probably talks about the differences between men and women. It is important for you guys to embrace the differences between men and women. I think our society, a lot of times, we have this kind of like, you know, I don't know, it's like we're ashamed of certain parts of our genders. You're kind of sleepy, but you like relationship topics. Okay, good. How many wives do I have? I have 0 wives. So, I don't know if you're asking yourself. You do come in here sometimes, so I don't know. I want to answer your questions, but I don't know if I understood that. Okay, so the 5 love languages. Physical touch, words of affirmation. Yes, I also believe that love is an emotion. So words of affirmation are positive words, compliments. And this was something I was just going to say that me and my husband do all the time. We always say nice things about and to each other. And if we're having a problem, we try to be very conservative about who we talk to about that problem with, if anyone, and how much of the details that we want to share. We really, we try to always be positive towards each other because that makes both of us feel loved because it's both of our secondary love language. The first one's physical touch. I think that one's pretty obvious, pretty straightforward. Things like massages, consoling touches, sex, all that stuff is going to be good for people with their primary love language as physical touch. That's how it should be. But some people actually, if your 5th language is words of affirmation, you might not really care all that much about what people say to you. And if that's your least one, chances are also probably good that you're a little bit maybe careless with your words, not really taking into consideration a lot of what other people feel. And that's not necessarily a bad thing if you have 2 people like that, potentially. I don't know if I know anyone like that. What if you hate them but love your kids and don't like homelessness? Well, I would say it sounds like you're pretty normal. That sounds very normal. I think that's getting into kind of government and how it makes it hard for a guy to keep his kids because women are typically favored in custodial battles and alimony battles. I don't know why you would be homeless, but you don't have to share more information than you want to share. I'm going to take a sip of water. 3rd love language. So we have physical touch, words of affirmation. The 3rd love language is acts of service. Doing things for each other. Doing things around the house if you guys live together. Cleaning. If you do their laundry and kind of like fold it or put it away nicely for them. Better not write it down. Yeah, okay. It's easier for a guy to get custody if he shows a twerking video of the mom. It might be a little bit easier. Hello, how are you? Communication is one of the most important things in a relationship. You guys, I didn't refresh my egg drop. Yes, communication is really important. So that's what these marriage counselors on Periscope asked me the other day. They said, okay, you're in a happy relationship. Yep, presence. We'll talk about presence. Popping something on your back. Okay. So that's good. I'm trying not to get distracted, but it's so hard. Or if he takes custody illegally while the mom is in basic training. That sounds very, very specific. Successful relationships are mainly compatibility related. I think so too, Dee. So that is something that can be a little hard if you're already in a relationship with someone and you're watching this right now and you realize that you're very incompatible in the way that you communicate and receive love. But you can work on it. Once you know your person's primary and secondary love languages, all you have to do, it's totally free, just go to 5lovelanguages.com and you'll take the free test and you'll know what your primary and secondary language is. You can have them take it and then you'll know and you'll say, okay, either we're very compatible or we have to work a little bit harder to show love to this person. It's harder to speak a language that isn't as fluent for you, just like it is with verbal languages like English, Spanish, French. So we talked about acts of service. The 4th language is quality time, spending time with this person. So I've actually been saying them in the order of my love languages. And because quality time is my 4th language, I actually don't particularly care to spend a whole lot of time with any of my loved ones. I know that sounds really weird to some people, especially people who quality time is really important to them. But for me, like even if I don't see a friend for weeks or months, I don't feel like it's been that long. I don't really care. It's like, well, I don't need to have seen them to feel close and connected to them, I guess. Yes. Thank you. Ditto. Okay, so Malachi agrees. So you think maybe quality time is a little bit lower on your list as well. So you can take it and see the order of your 5 languages. Well, we live together. We both work from home, so we spend time together. But I mean, as you can see, like he doesn't like sit here with me in the show, and I don't like get off here and immediately go just like hang out with him for hours. My first is physical touch. And it's the same as my husband's. So we're very compatible in that way. So we actually, let me give my last one actually. You think quality time is last? Well, wait till you hear the last one because you haven't heard them all yet. The 5th one is gifts. Now, you might like gifts or not, who knows. But for me and my husband, both of our 5th one is gifts. And for us on holidays, oh, you did read it. Okay, yeah, so you already know. On holidays, birthdays, anniversaries, all that type of celebration, we do a massage. We have a massage table and we just each give each other a massage. We don't buy gifts. And maybe we'll do some acts of service, do some things around the house or make a meal or something like that. It's kind of a gift if you make a meal for someone. You might have to buy the ingredients and then you're giving it to them. So there's a lot of overlap in these 5 love languages, but I think that's a really easy, bare bones easy thing for every single person to do is just go out and figure out your own. And then if you're in a relationship or you're considering a relationship with someone, maybe see what theirs are as well. Cool. You'll be writing these down. All right, good. Where's Name's team? It would be interesting to hear her views after her breakup. She's probably sleeping. What time is it there? It's 1 a.m. It's almost 1 a.m. there in the UK. Dump him? Dump who? It's a huge gift if I make a meal. Yeah, me too, kind of, but I'm trying to get better about doing that more often. Okay, that's irrelevant. I'm going to try to just field irrelevant questions to the best of my ability, which you guys know I'm really not good at, but I am wearing my husband's sweater, and I think that's a nice gift. I stole it out of his closet. I'm sure he wouldn't mind. He's very kind. So, methodical with your relationship, a big reason why it's lasted so long. Right, and we're similar in other ways as well. So we also are both thinkers. We do a lot of thinking and a lot of talking. So we do a lot of analyzing and problem solving naturally in our personality types as well. Hey, TJ, if you've ever taken the Myers-Briggs personality type test, sometimes that can be interesting to learn some things about yourself. If you go to 16personalities.com, he would not fit in my dress, Rex. He would not. He could try, but he would not fit. Yo. Gotta have the common threads as well as the individuality. Well, that's what the marriage counselors were saying. A lot of thinking and listening. I wish I did more listening. People should find themselves before getting serious in a relationship. I think that's true. I think it's important to know yourself. But if you're already in a relationship, that's okay. You can still figure out what your love languages are. And these marriage counselors the other day on Scope, they asked me if you could say 3 reasons that your relationship is good, what would you say? And I said boundaries, communication, and respect. And they said communication is one that almost everyone says every single time. Everyone knows it's really important to listen, and it's really important to talk. Some of us, like me, have issues with listening, and some of us have issues, my husband would be more in this category, with saying if he has a problem with something or verbalizing it in his way. I'm not a psychologist now. I'm just a wife. And a yoga teacher. I mean, not just a wife, but I think you know what I mean. I just am speaking from my own personal experience and different books that I've read and personality typings that I've studied. Lack of knowing self and likes and dislikes. Right. A lot of times you don't know what you want. Sometimes someone can't verbalize exactly what it is about something that, yes, we're talking about the love languages. Yes. Hi, Sonam. Hello. How are you? We were just talking about the 5 love languages. We were talking about how communication is really important in relationships. That's not one of the 5. We were talking about how communication is really important in relationships. And thank you. I feel like I am all over the place. So I appreciate the compliment. I guess a wife and a psychologist is equivalent when it comes to psychology. Exactly. And we talked about, or we didn't talk yet about respect, but that was another thing that I said was really important. It's almost like you have to care about what they think and what they feel some bit. I don't know if it has to be a ton, but you have to actually care a little bit. You have to respect them. You have to say, okay, well, if something I do or say or wear, whatever it may be, bothers them or hurts them in some way, and they've told me this, and then I just blatantly choose to just keep doing that, that's pretty disrespectful, I would say. You're not respecting their boundary. You know, it's almost, they go hand in hand. So boundaries, these counselors were like, whoa, no one ever says boundaries. That's pretty unusual for someone to say that. So I thought maybe it was important to talk about. It comes up a lot on my scopes, like when we talked about whether or not I could hug guys. You know, I don't like to hug guys. I'm not really a big hugger to begin with, but I definitely have a lot. I hug my girlfriends, and the same thing in my family. Like, I hug all the women, and I don't typically hug the men, especially not the men who aren't blood related. So if it's like my uncle who I've like known my whole life and grew up with, it's a little different than like my brother-in-law who married my sister, or my father-in-law who married my mom when she was like, you know, after I had moved out of the house and stuff. So those types of men where there could potentially be some type of sexual attraction to me, not that anything weird, just primal instincts, just I'm of mating age, and if we hug, my boobs are going to be on them, and that may or may not feel weird to them, but it feels a little weird to me. So for me, it's kind of like, I just don't really hug men. Now, if they're like crying, like if I know some guy and he's like crying or hurt or something, like I'm not trying to be like, you know, it's not always completely black and white, but that's pretty rare. And every once in a while someone's like, you know, it's like one of those hug lines and everyone's hugging and you kind of like do the little, you know, you just put your shoulder into it, or you kind of like make it like the side hug, you know, you can do stuff like that. I'm sorry that I'm missing so many comments, but I feel like I'm at least staying on topic a lot better now, but I don't really like missing them. So I could kind of glance over at my egg drop here. I do have egg drop. Good call, Rex. I'm just like pulling it up right now. I didn't really have it prepped. We dived right in. Dove? I'm doing good. Thank you, Sergio. I appreciate it. So, boundaries. I talked about hugs. There was one other boundary that came up the other day, which was, sorry, maybe I should have written some of these things down first. We were talking about, well, another example that I have is, another example that I would say is, I forgot because I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah. Okay, good. What's up? Can I ask you a question? Have you ever been through abuse, or do you have friends going through abuse? No, not that I know of. What if a woman is gay, still hugging? How do you measure intent? Yeah, I guess, to be honest, if a woman feels sexually attracted to me, I just feel as though she's less likely to act on it than a man. But I guess I don't know enough lesbians to really answer that question honestly. Like, I don't hug any lesbians as far as I know. Not because I don't like lesbians. I just don't really know any lesbians that I'm hugging. All my friends in high school were lesbians. People probably thought I was a lesbian. You like lesbians. That's good. TJ likes lesbians. Corbin is the only option. So I don't know what that means. I don't know why I'm reading comments to other people. So I'm going to stop. Everyone likes lesbians. This is good. Yes. One thing that everyone needs to be informed on is jealousy and how to handle and avoid them too. Yeah, and that's exactly the boundaries that I'm talking about. So if I'm doing a private yoga session, that's an example of something that I do not do with men. I don't do in person, face-to-face private yoga sessions one-on-one with men. I would do like a married couple, but not just one guy. And again, I mean, you guys, you can say if it's sexism or what you think about it. It's just a matter of boundaries. It's like if we have a clear line that doesn't get crossed, it makes it a lot easier to prevent hurting or having any kind of miscommunications or hurt. Because sometimes even after the fact, say you were on the phone with someone and it sounded like you were, really into them or something. And it's like they might hear that and think, oh, they're already hurt by hearing your attraction to this person. So how could you have prevented that? How could you not be putting yourself in a position to be flirting with the idea of being with someone else? And that's important to us. I found plenty of people that don't think that's that important. It could be, Jordan. It could be. What do you think? What if he pays extra? I don't know what you mean. Pays extra for what? In our religion, gay is forbidden. I don't like lesbian, Maddie says. I am at mating age. Yes, I did say that. That is true. And I think that it's normal human nature to notice if someone else is of mating age. And that if you feel attracted to someone, it's important to put distance between that person. I really do believe that. You don't need to be playing this game of how close can I get before it's cheating. How far is too far? Don't play that game. Be like, how far can I get away from this person? And not like, you don't have to like swear off them completely, but basically know your boundaries, know the appropriate line, and don't cross it. Would you let a guy hug you if you had really bummy clothes and needed a shower? What? That doesn't make any difference. A little bit at work. I just got denied from attending a female leadership symposium. As a man, you're a super fan. You are a super fan, Maddie, I think. I'm not sure if you still are, but you have moderation privileges still. Just don't have sex with them. That's it, in my opinion. Don't have sex with who? That's important. So we can also kind of like shift now talking about, mating choices. Choosing who you have sex with. Don't forget you can end up having a child with this person. Whether you're a girl or a guy, you could end up having a child with this person. And is that a risk that you want to take? Outside of even STDs. It's like, if for some reason it happened, would it be a good person to mate with? Is it a good person to be reproducing with? And try to find people who you actually like to have sex with. In my opinion, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about you right now. Ben's got a bike. Very distracting. Do you know how man feels attractive towards me that scares me as a man? I'm not sure what that means. I think about this in a primal way. I think about this in a lot of different ways. I think about this almost all day, every day. It affects my daily life. It affects my work. How many guys on here say sexual things to me. If I let them all stay, and if I wore a sports bra and really tight short shorts for all my broadcasts, and put my butt right in the camera all the time and was really flirty, and do you think that would have an effect on my relationship? Even if I remained completely faithful to him, completely? Don't you think that might make him feel insecure, kind of hurt, maybe a little bit disrespected? Oh, hi, Ross. Don't have sex with randoms if you're single. I would agree with that, TJ. Uh-oh. Phone storage is low. What does that mean? Just depends on how you guys feel about it. Yeah, that's true. So I was kind of hoping maybe some people in relationships would be in here trying to say their opinions, what works for them, what doesn't work for them, what they try to do. Because this is what works really well for me and my husband. We virtually never fight. We set boundaries every once in a while. We'll have, like, when I was starting to take jujitsu classes, it was kind of like, jujitsu is, if you've ever done jujitsu, it's like you wrap your legs around each other, like groin to groin action. Yeah, you're wearing gis, and it's, it's very professional, whatever. But he was like, it's a precarious position to have my wife in, and I could have been like, I have a right to do this, and just been very, very flat out, like, I want to do this, because I do. I really want to learn, I still really want to learn self-defense from this jiu-jitsu studio. But anyway, so what I did instead is, like, I'll just always make sure I have a female partner, because we do a lot of one-on-one, work. That way, I'll always have a female partner. He never has to worry about some guy having, with my legs wrapped around him, because if I put myself in that position, do I want some young, yoga teacher, whatever girl, to wrap her legs around my husband's waist in the name of, her learning self-defense? Yeah, I want her to learn self-defense, but do I want her to learn it that way? You know, you always have to kind of think about what is that other person going to feel like? How would you feel if you know, as a woman, you know, how would you feel if your man felt towards another woman the way you're getting these men to feel towards you? Don't ever say that again. I will block you, TJ. I don't like that. Would you let him take... Oh, yeah, okay. Would you let him take Kazamba classes without you? I don't even know what that is, but probably not. He would never want to do something like that. I would be more likely to be taking some weird class that he would be like, why are you doing this? Like dance classes and stuff. Like I took a burlesque dance class with a bunch of women one time, and it's like, to him, it's like, why would you do that? But there was no men. It's like, there's no men that can see me or be turned on by this. So for him, he's like, okay. Because I respect his desire to have just me. And he respects my desire to have just him. He has, you know, he doesn't, that one thing we'll never have someone in our house if the other person's not around. Like I won't have a guy here in the house if he's not here. Like, or one of his friends or something, you know, or vice versa. Like my friend isn't going to be hanging out here, or even some female friend of his to be here alone with him. You just try to avoid situations where temptation could arise, basically. We have different views. Yeah, so what are your views? Am I missing like everything you're saying? I'm sorry. If a woman talks about your man, how sexy he is, they talk about his body, what would you do? Well, that happens on Scope sometimes. Like, I kind of rile it up. And that's, again, like, I feel like it's different between men and women. Women are just not as hypersexual. Like, I feel like men are much more likely to just want to have sex with me than a woman is to just want to have sex with him. If all she wanted to do was have sex with him and then bounce, I would be a lot less threatened by her. What I'm more worried about is her wanting him and his resources, his brains and his sperm virtually. I mean, as crazy as that might sound, I personally find my husband to be a really amazing person. I really, really love him. I want to make more versions of him. Females only, because some guys are weird as I'm straight. I'm not sure exactly what that means. Why he doesn't trust you? No, he does trust me, and that's why, because I put work into making sure that he doesn't ever feel uncomfortable or insecure, because I care. And he does the same thing for me. Women are far more sexually powerful. If you piss a woman off, she could make